On this week's episode, we're going to talk about preparing for a recession. Hey everyone, this is Chad Owen, owner of Retirement Realized Financial, owner of Retirement Realized Agents Academy, and the Annuity Sales Coach. Here's one of the most important people in my life, easily the top 1,000. I mean, I know 999, but easily top.
Made the top 1,000.
Oh, definitely one of the most important people in my life, and he actually does keep me pretty well, let's say, informed of new things, new trends that are going on in the industry. Because you talk to a lot of agents. I
do talk all the time. I mean, some days
you can just leave it at that. I do talk all the time.
I do talk all the time,
but no,
I mean, there's days it's 7 hours on the phone.
Yeah. But it's amazing because you get all these different perspectives from people who have been in business a long time, people that are brand new, people that are doing really well, people that are not doing really well, people that understand what marketing is, people who don't understand what marketing is. So you get a good perspective.
I will tell you, this is not even in the notes, but there is a consistent indicator for success in the business.
What is that?
It's almost a perfect correlation between agents who treat what they do, selling annuities, like it's their business versus agents who treat selling annuities like they're just a salesperson for an insurance company.
Yeah, and that's a good point because, if you're, who was that? I heard this one time that only an entrepreneur would work 80 hours to make the same amount of money as someone who worked for someone else for 40 hours.
Yeah.
But the reality is if you're working 50, 60 hours here, you are killing it if you're doing it right.
You should be.
Now, we've talked about this before. If I just focused on just my annuity business, not all my other companies, not my training, if I just focused on that, I'm probably working 40 to 45 hours a week. Okay. I mean, there's some weeks where I'm working less than that.
Sure.
But I would say, and that of course includes driving time and everything. Yeah. And there's always that thought process of I could bring to where I have people come into the office, but man, that drive time is my leveler. It keeps me level-headed. I do, because that's my time for Bible, podcast, worship music, or literally just sitting there and thinking,
It's true.
Because there's a lot of things to think about. But the other thing I look at too is there's a lot of people that appreciate the fact that I'll drive out to their place.
Very true.
And that's a big help. I'm in their environment. They're not in mine.
Yeah.
So I know for a fact people don't have to work a lot of hours to do very well in this business.
Well, and from the very infant stages of you running business, writing business, it was viewed with that mentality of this is my business. If you approach it from the standpoint of you're just trying to close some annuity sales and that's really the extent of it, golly, it doesn't take much written business, issued business to make pretty stinking good money in this industry.
I mean, but you think about if you write $4 million a year and you average 7% commission, $280,000 a year. There are doctors that don't make that. There's doctors that make half that.
Right.
And they have way more cost in insurance and all that. I mean, it's unreal what we can do in this business. Yep. But the beauty behind this is if you're a doctor and you make, let's just say $300,000 a year, you still lose patients.
Yeah.
Like patients still die. With my clients, Nobody dies from the standpoint of financially. They never lose money.
Right.
They never run out of income. They never die.
Yep.
I mean, it's unreal what we get to do.
Yep.
So, with all this talk of death and turmoil, and we're obviously talking about prepping, becoming a prepper.
Yeah. Getting prepared for what a lot of people are calling for, a recession on the horizon.
Yeah, they are. And it's pretty clear. I mean, come on. You have to have your head in the hole in the ground to realize what's going on right now, the problems. Yeah. I mean, there's just everywhere you look, there's uncertainty, and it's not doom and gloom.
Right.
I mean, I honestly, didn't I just have a meeting a couple of weeks ago about saying, hey, we will not have anybody lose their job. Yep. We will not have cutbacks. We will not have anybody with pay decreases. We won't.
Right.
And I did that in March or April of 2020 when everything was going. And not only did we not have any of that, everybody else is making way more than what they were then.
Yep.
We've expanded and we have a bigger team. I can't wait to see, honestly, what happens during a recession, because even the top economists right now are calling for a recession.
Yeah.
And it's not a Republican or Democrat thing from the standpoint of, we know who's likely causing it, but that's a whole nother story. But the thing is anybody in any background right now is saying things are not looking good.
Yeah. I just literally had this thought of like, I'm so glad that I'm not in the space of managed money doing risk invest. Yeah, and this is just a personal thing, because I'm looking at the S&P 500 is down over 16% year to date. Mm-hmm. Okay, it's down over 4% over the last year from
and this
calendar
is
year,
of a week
right?
ago.
Like full year.
Yeah, this is a week ago.
Yeah, this is So by the time this podcast comes out, it's a little bit different. But as we sit today, it's down over 16% year to date. If I'm in risk, I'm dealing with risk investments.
That's almost bear market.
Yeah, almost. Yeah. I've got clients who are moving their money, so I'm making less. Yep. And I have clients that are upset calling me about what they've lost.
Which is even bigger concern, though, because I've been on this side from the standpoint of people calling into my show or I'm calling them from one of my internet leads, and they are scared out of their stinking mind right now.
It's wild.
There's more people right now, and I think of this guy in February that free looked a $600,000 policy. He's like, hey, I'm staying in the market. I'm going, and if somebody does that, I don't reach back out to them, because
they've made
then I could be the guy that goes, oh, you convinced me to get back into the annuity. I just don't reach it. You made your decision. It's your money, not mine. But I can't even imagine how much he's lost if he stayed in the market, because the NASDAQ is well into bear territory.
Oh, yeah. Over 26% year to date.
Oh, yeah. Well into bear. Yeah. It's funny that you did this, because I actually looked at the same thing. I did the same thing.
Well, so here's the exact numbers, and this is, again, not perfect for the time you're listening to it. S&P at this point in time down over 16% year to date, down over 4% over the last full year. Dow is down over 11% year to date, down over 6% over the last full year. NASDAQ's down over 26% year to date, and down over 12% over the last full year. The Fed's just approved a 0.5% interest rate increase, which is the largest bump since 2000.
Years, yeah.
And inflation rate was 8.5% for the year prior to the end of March 2022.
Wow.
So inflation is up, interest rates are up, market is down. And there's a whole lot of other factors that can play into it, obviously, but it's a pretty it's a daunting looking environment right now.
And we can't switch over to our political platform yet. Sure. But the reality is this administration's causing a lot of problems, and this is not a Republican or Democrat comment. This is a factual comment.
I mean,
you cannot blame the supply chain anymore. You can't blame oil shortage. These are decisions that are being made that are affecting everybody right now. Mm-hmm. And it's funny, because when things like this happen, the only people that could somewhat say that they're not affected is the people that have surplus in income. Mm-hmm. But that can catch up. We keep having 6 to 7, 8% inflation. That can definitely catch up. And, because you can't even say, well, the people that are relying on government aid, they're not feeling it. Oh, absolutely are. I know clients or people that I wanted my help, but I couldn't because they don't have enough money. And they're like, what do we do? We're losing money, or we don't have money. And gas is twice as expensive. They don't even get out. They don't even get to go and do their normal things.
Right.
And it's unbelievable to be in that situation. This is why, if you're younger, it's so important to plan for stuff like this, because you have no idea what it's going to be like when you actually retire.
Right.
And I'm talking about our industry people.
Yeah.
They think they can spend. There's so many people in our industry that spend what they want on what they want right now. And then all of a sudden they think they can live in, let's just say, beyond your means lifestyle, and then the market starts to tank and you go to retire, you're not retiring.
Right. Yeah.
That's why we see some agents that are working at 70, 75 years old. I'm not talking about the ones that want to work because they just want to, they like it. It's the ones that have to do it and they're still trying to work 40 hours, 50 hours a week.
Right.
I don't care who you are, man. Generally, when you're in your 70s and you're trying to work 40 to 50 hours a week, and especially if you're a road warrior, that's really tough on the body and tough on the mind.
It's true. It's true. Yeah. I was talking with an agent earlier this morning about just inflation in general. And the federal government has expenditures, right? And those expenditures, even the federal government is not they can't avoid the effect of inflation either.
No.
Right? So
But they can pass it down to everybody else.
Well, that's what I was going to say is what's the logical thing? If you got an 8.5% inflation rate, what's the logical thing from a taxation standpoint? Yeah. Logically, taxes should go up.
One is funny because I go to debtclock.org, and there was funny. It said that the number of people, the official number of people unemployed right now, and it gave, I can't remember the exact number, but then it said below that the actual number of people unemployed was twice the amount. And the reason why, and most people don't know this, but and I can't remember the exact cutoff, but once you're past a certain time frame and you're collecting unemployment or you're collecting government assistance, you're no longer counted as unemployed.
That doesn't even make sense.
Well, let's not talk about logic here.
That's fair.
Because when we really look at what's going on, when we're preparing, literally our annuities are the bomb shelter for retirement.
I'm telling you, in a lot of ways.
It is. And so you have, you can do one of two ways. If you, and it's funny because I used to watch those doomsday prepper shows, and I am not one of those people. Could we have an EMP? Yes. Could we have a nuclear war? Yes. Could we have a comet hit the earth? Yes. Could we have someone poison the entire water supply in the entire United States? Yes.
Yeah, it's possible.
But if you ever live like that, you're never enjoying life. Bad things are going to happen. But you have this prepper that goes down into the ground. They have this beautiful shelter and everything, but their garden's all up on the top. So this nuclear bomb goes in, wipes out their entire garden. You're dead. You're dead. You're dead. Or you can actually have the bomb shelter or whatever, and then you have your little UV lights blow, whatever. I don't know how you can control it because
electric.
So what?
Sunshine,
a nuclear bomb went off. Okay, and that's probably going to get rid of the sun to a certain degree. As far as
pretty well.
So what are you going to do? I don't know. But the point is, you have a higher likelihood if you have the food source down with you.
Yeah.
Let's say you supplied 100 years worth of food down below. That means you have a good chance of survival. And these annuities, that's your own self-sustained, your self-reliant income source.
Yeah.
And and somebody says, well, what if the insurance companies went under? Nobody's been able to find this information. A fixed indexed annuity company, I personally have not found one that's defaulted or not paid for clients in the past 100 years. Yeah. And I'd say 100 years because I haven't looked beyond that.
Right. And I can't quote where I heard this or where I read this, so take it as hearsay. But
which is a lot of the stuff I take that you say. But
But according to what I understand from the housing crisis, 07, 08, 08, 09,
or you could say 2007 to 2009, but okay.
Yes, there you go. There were more, and
just say it.
Okay, banks that went under.
Yeah.
Than there were insurance companies that went into receivership.
Oh, absolutely. 500. I know it was over 580 banks that disappeared 2007 to 2009.
So, right.
That's,
and you got to be careful about how you use that.
You don't
want people to, start thinking that banks are somehow an unsafe place
when they're insured by the FDIC, which is an insurance company. Just don't. You should never ever have to use fear to present or sell an annuity. You better not put money in a bank. They're not stable and blah blah. Or you better not put. mean, you don't present your facts of safety and security. Let them decide what's important to them.
Well, I have some other statistics that are pretty encouraging for those of us in the annuity world. And these are from LIMRA. Okay. So to give LIMRA credit for this.
And what is LIMRA for those who don't know?
254.8 billion in annuity sales, fixed annuity sales in 2021, up 16% from 2020. Okay, this represents the highest annual annuity sales since 2008, and the third highest sales recorded in history, according to preliminary results from the Secure Retirement Institute.
Didn't even know that. Wow.
Yeah. And then here's another fun one from LIMRA. So that was 2021, up 16% from the year prior, third highest in history. Total fixed annuity sales were $35.2 billion, up 14% for 2022, the first quarter of 2022, from quarter one of 2021. So what that's saying is that 2021 was the third highest annual sales volume of fixed annuities in history, the most recent highest from 2008. And here we are in 2022, and quarter one of 2022 was up 14% from 2021's quarter one.
Yeah, which I would be curious what my quarter one was compared to last quarter. I can tell you. Well, of course, yeah. Well, I'm sure you could, Caleb.
Got your trackers right here.
Handy dandy notebook there.
Okay, so Q1 of 2021, you did. Let's see. I'm gonna do some.
Man, this guy's a master on Excel.
I'm literally just punching in some quick calculations.
Yeah, that's crazy. He's doing the sum. I don't get all this stuff.
Okay, so Q1 2021, you did 5.98 million sold. Q1 2022, 11.8.
That's 100% gain. Wow.
Now, industry-wide, it was up 14%.
And I'm up 100%.
And you're up 100%, which, again, you want to talk about the effect of process.
Yeah, that's
It's a compounding effect.
It is.
14% across the board, meaning if you're just producing annuities, period, regardless of how good you are or how much work you need, you should have experienced approximately a 14% increase, just doing nothing different. You improve your process, market changes, which makes it a better environment for annuity sales, and you have a better process. That's a compounding impact.
Yeah, that's true. Because I've seen this before. I remember 2007 to 2009.
Yeah.
And I remember, I think it was 2004 is when I officially got into the retirement/life insurance business. And man, talk about baptism by fire.
Yeah.
I get in there, and then 2007, 2009 hit, and it's learned quick.
Yeah.
But it was the time from 2004 to 2007 where I was studying like crazy that helped me thrive in 2007 to 2009. So same, which was funny because my thriving there was still minuscule.
Yeah.
I think in probably 8 weeks I wrote more. And let's see, so 2008 I probably wrote more. I don't think we go back that far, do we? Yeah, I don't think we go back all the way there.
Why is it doing
but
that?
I know we have that somewhere.
Yeah, we do go back. Not all the way to
2010. Yeah,
2008, you sold 5.89
Well, there you go.
million.
So literally 6 weeks, I sold my entire year's volume for 2008.
Right.
And then 2009, I did 9.2. And then 2010, I did over 15.4. So you can see, actually, that's interesting because you can show 2007, the top, I did 1.5 million.
Yeah.
Then 2008, 5.9. 2010, 9.3. 2009, 9.3. 2010, 15 point. Talk about compounding, just increasing, just in that short time frame.
Yeah.
So what's going to happen 2022 to 2000?
Who knows? Look, you had the last 3 years in a row in a pandemic environment. Okay, over 26 million a year, 3 years in a row.
Yep.
This year, you should blow that 26 out of the water by probably another 5 million or so at least, I would think, depending on how much time you take off between now and the end of the year.
So you're saying I'm going to only end up at 31 million for the year, and I'm already at 17.4?
I'm saying...
Okay, you know what? you are fired as a motivational speaker.
Hey.
You're done. No more motivational speaking for you.
Hey, here's a motivational thing. 2007, Chad wrote $1.47 million for the year. One of his first years in the business. Yeah. So if you're at that million mark or 1 point, there is hope.
And apparently for the rest of the year, I'm only going to write $5 million when I'm averaging. No, you got 30.
It'd be 14.
Right. Yes.
You'd be writing another like 14 million between now and the end of the year.
But we're not even at June yet. So the end of June, I should have double. If I just doubled my production right now, that would be 30, almost 35 million.
Yeah. I hope that happened. Aren't you taking off like all of August?
That is true. Yeah. I'll be gone for 4 weeks in August. That is true. And I may take off the last 2 weeks of June. I don't know. Yeah.
But all that to say, we are in a phenomenal time. Like we used to, we've been saying for 3 years now, we're in the golden age of annuities. We're in the golden age of, and that was when the market was doing crazy things. Now we're in
the lead years of the stock market and the golden age of annuities.
It's a good time to be doing what we're doing.
Okay. Well, I hope this helps you guys. And of course, we like to have fun, but we also like to put the hard-hitting facts in there. And that's what this is about. These are just statistics, and you apply this information to your clients. You give them information and let them put the emotions to it. You do not try and freak them out. You don't go, oh my gosh, read all these statistics. We're all going to die. You know, just don't do that. Yep. Present information, let them provide their emotions to it and how it's important to them or not.
Yeah.
But I hope this helps you. You have a great day. And of course, happy selling.